with the Conduit 1, what we set out to do originally is do something very special for the Wii. So we developed a first-person shooter that took good advantage of the Wii remote and tried to take good advantage of the Wii hardware. With the first game, we took it up to the point where it was a lot of fun to play, and we got fairly good feedback from the audience, and people were appreciative of our efforts. With the sequel, what we're looking to do is really nail that down, try to come up with a much more exciting, dynamic, bigger, better, and badder Conduit title than what we had done with the first game. So the story of the game takes place pretty much immediately following the first Conduit, and in the end of the first Conduit is a little ambiguous as far as what exactly happens to Mr. Ford and where things are taking him. Well, with this game, you find out precisely where it's taking him, and as it turns out, Mr. Ford finds himself waking up on an oil derrick somewhere in the mysterious ocean. And in the oil derrick is run by the Trust, which is our evil organization that's the bad guys in our first game. And of course, Mr. Ford finds himself surrounded by the enemy and has to fight his way out of a scrape, only to find out that there's even bigger, badder enemies that he has to deal with, and he keeps going deeper and deeper into the craziness. In the first game, we pretty much explored Washington, D.C. We went to all the great landmarks. With the sequel, what we decided to do was really open up the creativity on that. So what we want to do is span the globe, and we came up with lots of unique locations around the globe that really were able to help us push the art style, push the direction of the story, the gameplay, and come up with some really unique gameplay elements for our game so that it wasn't really restricted to just one area, but we can go wherever in the world seems like it would be a really cool place to be. So you end up in China and different places, and you know the locations are beautiful. Artistically, there's some really great art to look at, so there's a lot of cool stuff for players to look forward to. And also on the art side, we really pushed the art direction this time out so that each location is varied, really exciting to look at, and just lots of cool details and things along the way. So a lot of the gameplay from the first game has been improved. For the most part, the controls are primarily the same as they were before because we didn't want to mess with something that was actually working very well, and we were very well praised for the control that we did on the first game, so we didn't want to change that too much. What we wanted to do was enhance the gameplay by adding new abilities. So Mr. Ford has the ability, say, to run. The ASE has some new unlocking abilities, has some new abilities with the ASE so that there's a little better user feedback, a little better, more intuitive visual feedback when you're using the ASE, so you have a better idea of what you're looking at and how the ASE is supposed to interact with that object to make it more fun for the player. In addition to that, there's lots of new upgrades and things that Mr. Ford can find along the way, weapon upgrades, enhancements to the character, and even some new suit upgrades and things. The character's going to look pretty cool in the game. On the multiplayer side, for the most part, we got pretty good feedback, but you know, we had some issues with hacking, and we had some issues with, you know, just overall some of the limited functionality that was in the game. Now what we're able to do is really focus on the multiplayer. We've tightened up some of the security, hopefully, and we've also added a perk system into the game too, so pretty much everything that you do builds XP in the multiplayer side. There's also a team invasion mode built into the game, so you can do online co-op during the team invasion mode, earn XP that you can take into the store to purchase new upgrades for your character, like robot legs, which makes the character run faster, upgrades for your shield, ability to jump higher, and then you, as a player, when you go into the multiplayer side this time out, you can actually choose your weapon arrangement that you take with you into the multiplayer game. You can also set up your character with the unique perks that you purchase in the store so that you can mix and match your abilities and make it more to your liking. Everything in the game centers around the multiplayer this time out, so even in the single player game, you're going to be unlocking lots of enhancements and things that you can take along with you to the multiplayer side. So this time, what we wanted to do was try to make a little more of a robust, definitive multiplayer game for our Conduit 2. In addition to that, we also have split screen mode. We have 2-player and 4-player split screen, which is working great, and we know that a lot of the fans were really hoping for that in the first game. This time out, we're nailing it, and it's working out really well for the product. So as far as like the bigger, badder, better aspect of Conduit and how we're managing to pull that off, definitely bigger boss fights. For example, the Leviathan character is something we've been showing kind of in a behind closed door setting. Very large enemy, very cool, multi-stages of combat, makes the game a lot more exciting and appealing, so it feels a little more like some of the bigger experiences that you're craving for when you play games. And again, that comes down to making a sequel, having that time to get all the technology up and running and to really get that stuff in the game, make sure that it plays really well. So the Conduit is actually due to be out at the end of this year, at least for now, that's where it's due to be out. We hope players enjoy it. We put a lot of effort into this game. We have a lot of new unique features in the technology that make it more fun to play, better level designs, better enemies, better bosses, better AI, better multiplayer. Controls are enhanced by Wii Motion Plus, all sorts of really cool stuff in the Conduit 2. We hope you like it.